The Overwatch development team at Blizzard has a few challenges ahead of them, and those challenges are going to change the game in a very fundamental way. So brace yourselves, and let's have a look. Hey guys, I'm Dimsies from the Omnic Post. The first few weeks of 2024 in the Overwatch community have been interesting. Both the latest director take and that quick play experiment have received some mixed reactions for understandable reasons, although let me get something out of the way first. In Aaron Keller's director's take, the blog that the Overwatch game director does every 2 weeks, he mentioned that in Season 9, both tanks and DPS are getting the support's self-healing passive. At least that is what the community heard, which is not fully correct. But as it goes on the internet, a simple teaser announcement was taken out of context and blown up. What Aaron actually said is that they're going to do some big balancing changes in Season 9 that will address damage spikes, and that will include a change in which they will be giving the tanks and the DPS a tuned down version of the support's self-healing passive. If you take all the context along, that sounds a lot less dramatic. That being said, they could have seen this coming from miles away. And that quicker play experiment, well, I discussed that in my previous video. I like the fact that they did this experiment. I would not keep these changes in game at all. But there are a few learnings there, a few things that they could take along in Overwatch in the future. Check out that video if you want to get the full story. I'll link it at the end of this video. Something else Aaron also mentioned in that director take is that we're getting another one of these quick play hacked by the end of Season 8, which is somewhere in the next 2 weeks. But I'll talk more about that later in this video. Now, as you can tell, I do like change. I think change in a game like Overwatch keeps things interesting. A lot of other community members, however, are not that big a fan of change as I am, which is kind of contradictory to what a lot of you constantly say. Because I hear and read a lot of requests, ranging from wanting to have heroes buffed, maps removed, to, well, completely new game modes, or even in some cases, to have developers removed. Come on. But when the actual changes start to happen, panic! And yeah, sure, an easy comment right here would be, well, if the changes were good, we wouldn't be panicking. But look, if you're going to start shooting down changes based on a few lines of text in the director blog that are taken out of context and kind of warped, how the hell are you going to know that they're good or not? I get that the core gameplay changes and that these experiments are kind of scary. But if you think that this is big, well, you better brace yourselves. In that same blog I mentioned earlier, Aaron also wrote, when I look at the future of Overwatch a year or two out, I don't see the exact same game that we're playing right now, but with a few more heroes or maps added to it. The game should always evolve with new systems and features that serve our players. That might sound like PR talk, but honestly, I think they mean business. And that is because change is exactly what a live service game like Overwatch 2 needs. It took the other games in this niche, in this segment, a little longer, a few years to realize that. But at some point, no matter how many maps you add, or how beautiful the skins are that you push in the shop, no matter how big a name you can tie into your game for an event, at some point, that all will get old. All that shiny stuff is what brings people in or back. The game loop is what keeps them sticking around. And as we slowly close into the 8th birthday of Overwatch as a game, that game loop, yeah, it could use a bit of change. The balance changes that Aaron talked about for Season 9 in his director take, and the tests that we saw in the previous weekend are just the tip of the iceberg. But contrary to what usually is the case with an iceberg, we shouldn't be scared of these changes. Because Aaron ended with that one sentence, that serve our players. Now, because of all the trust issues that we have with Team 4 and Blizzard, I can understand that you're going to approach this with some cynicism. But let's just be honest, if they don't make a game that we want to play, they're not going to make any money, so yeah. The bottom line is that we need to have fun with the game. Today, tomorrow, next week, and in 2 years. And you don't need to be worried that Overwatch is going to warp into Fortnite, Apex, or any other game. It is always going to have that base description of a team-based, hero-based, competitive shooter. But we need to let them experiment and look for what we enjoy best within that space of that description. And our task is to give them the feedback and, I guess, enjoy the ride. Because no matter how hard we think that we know exactly what we want for Overwatch. It won't be till someone actually build it and we get to try it that we'll know if that is exactly what we are looking for. Now, let me get practical here for a minute. The next quick play hack. If I had to take a guess, a well-educated guess, I would say that they're going to do that weekend next weekend on January 26th. Because, well, the current weekend is already ongoing, and right after that weekend they're going to launch the new Lunar New Year event. So I don't think they're going to have those two overlap. And that event is running all the way till the end of Season 8. What they'll be doing exactly during that quick play hack is currently unknown. One thing I'm thinking is that they might be testing those balancing changes that Aaron was talking about in that quick play hack, which would make sense. Release them a few weeks before the season, get some feedback, adjust, and then launch everything when Season 9 starts. Could be cool. Or maybe they'll do quick play hack 6 versus 6. No, I'm kidding. It was a joke. That is never going to happen, okay? Give it up. Now, about those balancing changes, what they're going to look like, I have no idea. Less damage spiking. Yeah. More consistency, we'll see. But I do want to take a guess on when they will be dropping the info. Because in that same director take again, Aaron said that there's more of these director takes coming on the future of Overwatch. And the first one is going to be about competitive, which I think they're going to release on February 26th, when that new quick play hack starts. And the one after that is hero balancing, which I expect around February 9th. And Season 9 starts on February 13th. There is a fourth and final blog, and that is most likely going to release in Season 9, and that is going to be about economy. Yeah, I think that is where they're going to talk about the future of the Battle Pass and the shop. I'm really eager to read that one. Anyways, tell me, do you guys still enjoy playing Overwatch day to day right now? Let me know in the comments. A big thank you to my patrons for their support. You guys are legends. And you too can become part of the Omnic Post family over on patreon.com/theomnicpost. Check out this video in which I list 5 things that I personally would love to keep from the quicker play experiment. But above all, make sure to subscribe. Alright, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.